is it conceivable to rank the world's best shorelines? Of course not, as inclinations will contrast from traveler to traveler based on civilities, availability, swimming and water sports alternatives, security, sense of put, unwinding, and view. In any case, being well-traveled and having put my feet within the sand of various shorelines around the globe, I thusly show you my list of the 10 most marvelous shorelines within the world. From coral to sandy and long to encased, it ought to come as no surprise that most of these shorelines are found within the world's best beach destinations. Shockingly, these shorelines are no mystery any longer, and you may ought to share their extraordinary magnificence with numerous others travelers. If tranquility may be a must, you'll consider swapping the shorelines recorded underneath for one of the world's most excellent semi-private inn shorelines, or take a remain at one of the world's most elite private island resorts. Number 10. Tulum, Riviera Maya, Mexico. What sets Tulum apart is its proximity to some of the most stunning Mayan ruins in all of Mexico. It is here that one of the world's best cultural destinations meets one of the world's best beaches. Tulum's ruin is an ancient walled city sitting on rocky cliff that overlooks a spectacular beach. With hordes of tourists visiting every day, the area is not exactly private, but the broad stretch of white sand and mesmerizing turquoise Caribbean waters more than make up for it. Number 9. Navajo Beach, Zakynthos, Greece. Navajo Shoreline is an isolated, however strikingly wonderful sandy inlet on the Greek island of Zakynthos. It is regularly alluded to as the wreck shoreline, since it is domestic to the wreck of a dispatch called Panagiotes that's accepted to have been a bootlegger's dispatch. The range is characterized by its sheer limestone cliffs, white sand shorelines, and clear blue water, which pull in thousands of sightseers annually. The strip of shoreline is gotten to as it were by boat, but you'll be able to see it from over in case you stand on the tall side of the encompassing cliffs. Number 8. Grace Bay, Turks and Caicos. The Turks and Caicos contain 40 islands and cays, of which Providenciales is the most visitor-middle. It's here on the northern shore that you'll discover Beauty Narrows, a 19 km, 12 miles, paradise-perfect blend of sugary sand and straightforward water, bordered by a coral reef framework with marvelous snorkeling and jumping. Shockingly, an expanding number of resorts and condo lodgings have sprung up along the shore in a long time, so you will be way better off these days on the more private lodging shorelines of Amanyara or Parrot Cay. Number 7. Whitehaven Beach, Queensland, Australia. Whitehaven Shoreline is insured by the Whitsunday Islands National Stop and is found within the heart of the extraordinary obstruction reef. Australia's most popular shoreline extends for 4 miles, 7 km, and is washed by twirls of turquoise, blue, and green water. The sand is 98% immaculate white silica, which gives it a brilliant, near-luminescent color. You'll be able to reach the shoreline by means of a helicopter or seaplane. Otherwise, you can cruise to Whitehaven Shoreline with one of the numerous yacht trips within the zone. Number 6. Baía do Sancho, Fernando de Noronha, Brazil. Baía do Sancho is arranged on the inaccessible island of Fernando de Noronha, a dynamic volcanic archipelago of 21 islands within the Atlantic Sea, found roughly 220 miles, 350 km, off the coast of northeastern Brazil Cove. Shimmering emerald water and delicate white sands are encompassed by vegetation, covered 250 ft, 75 m cliffs. The shoreline can, as it were, be come to by vessel or by foot on an earth path through a break in a rock wall with a couple of dozen uneven, slippery sandy steps. The shoreline is culminate for snorkeling and spotting beams. Number 5. Long Beach, Vancouver Island, Canada. It are not as it were tropical shorelines whose breathtaking excellence can make one dumbfounded. The leading case is Long Shoreline, the longest sandy shoreline on Canada's Vancouver Island, which offers eye-popping picturesque seas and an unmatched sea wild. Found inside the boundaries of the Pacific Edge National Stop-Save between Tofino and Ucluelet, its 10 miles, 16 kilometers, of flawless sand are sponsored by rich rainforests and washed by a cool beating surf. 20,000 dim whales relocate up this coast each spring and summer. Number 4. Maya Bay, Thailand. Meyer Inlet could be a stunningly excellent, protected narrows on Thailand's Koh Phi Phi. With a ring of white sand encompassed by mangroves and towering limestone dividers covered by thick foliage, it's simple to see why Chief Danny Boyle chose this shoreline for cult favorite The Shoreline, featuring Leonardo DiCaprio. The most shoreline inside the inlet is around 200 m, 650 feet, long and highlights smooth, delicate white sand, with submerged colorful coral and extraordinary angle in outstandingly clear water. Number 3. Camps Bay, Cape Town, South Africa. Cape Town tops my list of the world's most lovely cities, not slightest sense of the wonderful shorelines on its doorstep. Camps Narrows isn't as it were Cape Town's most prevalent shoreline, but the only urban shoreline to create it into my best 10 list. Bragging blinding white sand set against the magnificent background of the 12 Messengers mountain range and Table Mountain, Camps Bay's water could be a bit cold due to the streams within the Atlantic Sea, but that will not divert you from the astounding encompassing view and world-famous sunsets. Number 2. Polyhill Beach, Hawaii, USA. Polyhill is hands down the Hawaiian archipelago's most breathtakingly excellent shoreline. This apparently forsaken 11 km, 7 miles, extend on the western conclusion of Kauai, one of the world's most beautiful islands, is a few miles from the closest town and holds a vibe of charm and persona, still lively on Hawaii nowadays. The shoreline can, as it were, be come to by means of an ineffectively stamped soil sugarcane street, making a four-wheel drive vehicle best. Check together with your rental car company for limitations sometime recently heading out. Last but not the least, number 1. Anse-sur Sturgeon, Seychelles. One of the foremost shot shorelines within the world, the blinding white sands of Anse-sur Sturgeon spread out over La Digue, one of the 115 islands that make us this paradisiacal archipelago within the Indian Sea. The shoreline shines against a scenery of gigantic rock boulders, worn by time and climate. And seaward reef gives assurance from sea waves, making the turquoise water a perfect spot for swimming. Keep an eye out for emerald winged creatures and mammoth tortoises. Personally, I say thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button. And if you have something to say, please leave a comment.